Welcome to Journey with RTR, the podcast where three dynamic women from Southern California come together to share their insights, experiences, and stories to encourage and inspire you to grow, learn, and thrive. Renee, Tracy, and Raquel are here to bring you thoughtful discussions, practical tips, and a whole lot of inspiration. Before they dive in, a quick disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individuals and do not represent their respective organizations or companies. So, get ready to embark on this journey as they navigate through life's challenges and triumphs together. Let's dive in and start thriving.
Within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
We're going to the Emmys. We are so excited. Thank you for joining us for this podcast, Journey with RTR, here with Tracy and Raquel. We are going to talk about something really exciting today. There is a magazine called Podcastars. It's the very first episode. I do have to give a shout out to Andrea and Hannah with She Rise Studios because they are the creators. Thank you so much for allowing us to be in this magazine. Just super excited. I think today we're going to talk about TV shows and movies that inspired us, meant something to us, sparked memories. We're just excited to be here.
Can I just show our picture?
Yeah,
Here we are.
There we are.
Yeah, I wish we could zoom in on it.
Totally. That would be super
That's
cool.
exciting.
Let's start this off. Let's talk about this. Who wants to go first?
So we know that the Emmys have been around for many, many years. And I guess the first one premiered in 1949, which is none of us were
Way
born
before
then.
our time. Yep.
None.
And it's amazing how they honor all TV and film shows. And there's been so many, some we've never seen, some that watched and inspired us when we were younger. And one of the TV shows that inspired me when I was younger was, or not inspired, just my family loved, was The Simpsons. And it was at a time when there was all this hype about these little cartoons and this little family that was very different. They were from Springfield, Illinois. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. So for us, I think there was meaning there too. Like this national cartoon is a crazy, cute little family. The father was hilarious. Homer, Marge.
Love Marge.
Lisa, the daughter, Bart, and then baby Maggie was adorable. And our family we would plan to watch this. It was only on Sundays. I think it was only 30 minutes. And it literally felt like 15 minutes between all the commercials, which was ridiculous. And we would have everything in our living room, like popcorn, that was the microwave popcorn, pizza, your candy, your soda, whatever you wanted, we'd watch it. And then when the commercials came, we'd run to the restroom, like, get back because you're going to miss it. And back then you couldn't pause stuff. Like you can pause the TV now. So you just had to watch it or you missed it. And then you had to wait another week.
Which
is
seemed
like torture.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Eternity.
I don't feel so old now.
Yeah, and you're like, why did you make us wait? Now, people don't understand the convenience of television now,
Right.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is you could binge watch a whole series, in a weekend, which, takes you away from doing things you should also be doing, getting out, being out with your friends and doing other things. But that to us was hilarious. I mean, just the quirkiness of their families and seeing all the little creative things they would talk about, but that was our family experience watching that show. So
You want to
That's
hear
fun.
something funny?
That's fun.
So I've never been a Simpsons watcher ever, but I was obsessed with Bart. Like I just loved his little body and his little like hair that was like looked like mountains and pokey triangles. So my brother knew I really liked Bart, but never watched the TV show. So he was at the Orange County Fair one year, and Bart Simpson was everywhere. So you know those dolls cost about 10 cents.
Right.
My brother, and he's a pretty good basketball player in his prime, I think he tried $140 worth.
Jeez.
And he bought me one. But he was determined. He was with, I think, a girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And her little boy. And he just said, I'm not leaving until I buy that. I win the doll.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know why I did this because Bart Simpson was everywhere. I could have just walked in the store and like
Got you
bought
one?
the whole truckload of them.
Yeah.
But he managed to get it. I'll always remember that. So I
That's
had Bart.
adorable.
Still never
That
saw
is
the
sweet.
show, but
Yeah.
I had Bart.
So you didn't watch The Simpsons?
No,
I didn't
really
either.
wasn't. No.
There's, not a TV show that I really watched. Even growing up, we didn't watch TV much.
Yeah.
We never sat around and watched TV.
Right.
Gosh, not even like Family Ties, Leave It to
No.
Beaver, I Love Lucy,
No.
any of it?
Well,
No.
I think that some stuff is regional, right? And where you grew up. And in Chicago, the winters are brutal. So you're stuck inside. You cannot go anywhere. It's like why you gain 50 pounds in the winter because you're sitting all day and you can't get outside. So
Yeah.
for us, it was like habitual. Like you knew you were stuck at home. You knew you couldn't go out. You knew you weren't going to go out. So you found shows that were entertaining that you would
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
So that
Well,
was
I
our
think
show.
over time, like, I don't know, I used to come over to Tracy's house and we used to watch, we binge watched it. And then we used to watch This Is Us.
Oh, my favorite.
I mean, but
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a rough show because I loved it because it brought you back to the 70s and 80s. But I loved it because it was so great. But it always left me empty feeling. It was a weird feeling that you would get because I would always wish I had that energy that they had, the closeness that they had.
the parents were so
They were so
good.
great. I mean,
And
it
they
was
were so smart.
yeah,
for their
so
ages.
smart. Yeah, because they were very young when
were
they
very
had the
young.
kids.
And they had like all those kids. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just, I mean, you just bawled
Yeah.
every night, you
Every
know.
night.
So I would have to say, like for me, definitely, it would be This Is Us and
Me too.
what was the other one? Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah.
now that's another one I didn't watch.
Well, you
I
know, it was
didn't either.
interesting. I never watched it, but when
Yeah.
COVID came, there was nothing to do. And all I did was sit and watch that. I binge watched it. I think every night my husband would come to bed and he's like, oh, she's watching Grey's Anatomy. Because I was like bawling. Every episode had you either like on a cliffhanger or you're crying or something. You just really love to, and that's when you know it's great acting because when
Yeah.
you really love the actors.
Right. Or hate them.
Or hate them, right.
yes.
Yeah.
I think what was interesting with Tracy and I, we went to there was a panel that they had at, was it the Kodak Theater with This Is Us?
Yes.
And so we sat and we watched all the actors. I think there was like 5 of them that they brought there. And you know, they were nothing like
Nothing.
they are in the
Like
show.
the dad in the show was so
Milo.
involved with his kids. Milo, so involved with his kids, everything. So involved as a husband and a father, and then when we saw him in real life, he was very shy and timid. He was just
Yeah.
very
He just
quiet
sat there and didn't
sat
say
there and
anything.
didn't say
Really?
much. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
so-
like the main character.
But what I loved about it is, everyone was watching This Is Us at the time, and they were showing the pre-screening of the last episode. So again, everyone's bawling in the audience, but it hadn't been aired yet. So it was a really super cool experience.
It was.
I'd
It was
never
fun
been
to see.
to one of those,
Yeah.
but I would have to say my adult life, it would be those 2 shows for me
Yeah,
for sure.
Nice.
But then you turn to the movies, and I'm sure we have to come up, each of us, with one that definitely
Oh, I know.
impacted our
My
life.
favorite family movie was Freeway.
Freeway.
Your free family movie?
Well, yes.
Let's put a disclaimer on family. Please describe your movie to
movie-
parents and family.
It was a family movie because we watched it. It was, let's see.
How old were you?
The first time I saw it was probably when I was 20.
Okay.
So it was, I'll read you what it was about. It was made in 1996. This is the picture of it. Freeway. It was just a family movie because we've all watched it. And so my brothers, my sisters, my parents, we've all watched it. I never let my kids watch it until they got older.
Okay.
Well, did you all get together like Raquel and have popcorn and like run to the bathroom
No.
and come back? I mean, like,
No.
so it was just something that you have
watched
seen
together.
throughout your life growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we've all seen it at different times and we talk, and we always have these sayings from the movie that we always say all the time. And it's inappropriate, so I can't say them right now.
Yeah.
Julie and Rob, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, if you get a chance, you know, it's really a good movie. I'll give you a little quick synopsis. It's Vanessa Lutz, who is Reese Witherspoon, is a teenage delinquent who runs away from her prostitute mother and perverted stepfather to go live with her grandmother.
Okay.
Family.
While on her way, she meets Bob, who's Kiefer Sutherland, who's a charming yet sadistic serial killer. So it's kind of a play on... Do you guys remember the I-5 serial killer guy?
You know, I've heard of it.
I wasn't here then. I don't think.
You weren't in California then, but it was a real, you know, serial killer,
Right.
and it's kind of a play on that and Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay.
So it's just funny.
But it's not a comedy, or it's a dark comedy.
Well, it says it's a American black comedy crime thriller film.
okay.
Huh.
It's funny. It's totally inappropriate.
Can I give my input on this just a little bit?
Just a minute. There's a lot of foul language.
All right.
So I did not let my kids see it until they were probably, 16, 17 in that age range. And they were just like, oh, Mom, you know.
But anybody that knows you
knows that's my favorite.
knows it's your favorite movie,
Yes.
and I think that they're forced to watch it.
You guys have all been forced to watch it.
You have forced me probably 5 times, and yet have been able to get through it.
I look over her
Wow.
and she's sleeping.
Well, maybe if we started it at like 8 in the morning.
Right.
You're still young.
Well, it's just, I don't know. It's really bad. I mean, I love you, but it is bad.
It is not. You know,
It's not-
It won no Academy Award.
no nothing. But
I would love to know what the Rotten Tomatoes score is.
Oh, that would be fun.
you
to
know
look
what?
at.
Actually, it has good ratings. If you go look at the ratings,
Really?
Reese Witherspoon is amazing in this movie. Her acting skills are amazing.
Yeah. I would love to know what she thought about that. Because, you know, like actors, when some don't like to watch themselves.
Right.
And then some go, I remember that. And it was like I just wanted to get in film. And it was one that it was like testing me or stretching me. You want to know what they thought about filming that.
Renee used to tease me and said, well, Reese Witherspoon never even, admits to doing that
you
movie.
know
But
what?
I've never heard that.
I tried to Google that.
Yeah.
I tried
not
I
true.
wanted to find out where I got that information.
Yeah.
I think I lied.
Oh.
I think you did
Because
too.
I just
Because she hates
disliked
it so
the
much. She's like,
film
I'm not
so
watching
much.
this movie.
And then I believed my lie. And I was like, I know I
convinced
read
yourself.
it. And I can't
you
find
look
it anywhere.
at the reviews, everybody says how amazing Reese Witherspoon is in this movie. And she is so foul-mouthed, but so good. And then Kiefer Sutherland, he's hilarious. Brooke Shields is in it.
What did she play?
Brittany Murphy. Brooke Shields played Kiefer Sutherland's wife.
Okay.
And Brittany Murphy played a girl that was in prison with Reese Witherspoon.
Wow.
You just got to see it. That was my favorite.
Yeah, you got to see it.
You've seen it.
I've seen it 5 times and I can't get through it. Not
Okay.
even once.
If anybody watches this, would you please comment below, because we need to be
on our
friends.
YouTube page.
Please.
Or
We need to be friends. Come on over. I'll even make
Tracy
popcorn.
needs a friend to watch it with her.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. After this, this will go up on all of our pages: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Put your vote in for the movie that we've chosen, and tell us what you think. They're all on like Amazon or
Yeah,
Netflix.
right,
You
yeah.
can probably download it. Okay, so that's yours.
Mine happens to be rated R, and like I said, it's very foul language. It's really, really bad.
Okay.
But my PG friends over here are probably going to come up with like Snow White or something.
Oh boy.
Oh, funny.
What is yours, Raquel?
So I have a couple of them. You know, during the holidays, we have all of our kids come home, and my two favorite holidays are the 4th of July and Christmas. And my house looks like it exploded in both of those holidays. And we'll watch The Family Stone, which we love. We'll watch all the Elf and all the fun holiday movies. But when I was growing up, the movie Working Girl had come out, and it was with Melanie Griffith, Sigourney Weaver, Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin, Joan Cusack.
Wow.
And like
A lot of great people
Oh,
in
they
there.
had great. I mean, phenomenal movie.
You have to see it.
Yeah,
It's
I've
really
never seen
That's
it.
a movie we have to watch
Let's
together.
have a movie
Definitely.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
totally.
Emmys weekend, we'll have a movie weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's about what's her name? The main girl. Melanie Griffith lives in like New Jersey, and she's dating Alec Baldwin. He's like a little womanizer, and she works in New York. So she has to take like the BART system, you know, to New York City. She gets a job as like an assistant to Sigourney Weaver. And Sigourney Weaver goes to like Switzerland on this like ski trip, and she breaks her leg. Well, when they first meet, Sigourney sounds like she's really supportive. Like, hey, you're young, but give me your ideas. We want to promote each other. We want to strengthen this woman bond.
Don't tell me the end. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I want to be surprised.
Okay. And what I loved about it was all the things that were city. I loved her ambition. I loved how she thought about things, her insight, meaning her instinct, Melanie Griffith, because she was like, I'm not as educated as these strong women. I don't have the fancy townhomes on Park Avenue. I don't have any of this. And she used to take her she used to wear gym shoes like on the BART, like to go out, and then she would change. And when I worked in Chicago, I worked on Michigan Avenue at what was called the Equitable Building, which is right next to the Wrigley Building. So across the street was the Wrigley Building, and then our building was right there. It was like 500 South Michigan Avenue. And I remember I used to wear heels like everywhere. And then I saw that movie one day, and I was like, I need to wear gym shoes. Like, what the heck am I doing? I'm ruining my shoes. And
You still wear heels even when you're cooking at your house.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm so short. If we were standing, I would be this microphone size, and they would be up there, so you wouldn't see us.
True.
Or you wouldn't see me. But I absolutely loved everything that movie represented about a self-empowerment where you believe in yourself more than people believed in you, and that you weren't going to let anything hold you back. That no matter what people were going to say, you don't belong at this table, you don't belong in this room. But she made herself belong. She believed that much in herself. And it's amazing. It's a super inspiring film. As a young girl, I looked at it and said, like, wow, like I want to be her. I thought. And it was nominated for 6 I think Academy Awards, and Carly Simon won for the best song, which was "Let the River Run." And you hear it at the end.
Yes, I love her.
It's super meaningful because you're just like, and every time I watch that movie, I mean, I bought it, so I own the movie.
Oh, you do?
It's phenomenal.
Awesome.
You guys, we'll watch it. You'll have to see it. So
Looking
All
forward
right,
to that.
yeah. What's your movie?
Well, June 11th, 1982, the most amazing movie came out. It actually stayed in the theaters for an entire year. Isn't that amazing? Like,
Yeah.
what movie stays in the theaters for a year?
Yeah. Freeway. You just got to see it.
No. Okay. That was not the movie. E.T.
Oh,
I just loved that movie.
I loved E.T.
It was
too.
just, I mean, I could cry thinking about it. So my dad took me to watch that movie in the theaters the year it came out, I'm sure shortly after it came out. And so my dad passed away when I was very young, and it is actually one of the very few memories I have with him. So it was it's so meaningful to me, and I actually remember being in the theater and crying so bad, I was like shaking and couldn't catch my breath because you know at the end E.T.'s like sick and
You're supposed to tell the end. Some
that's
people
not
haven't
the
seen
end.
it.
That's not the end, but
I think everybody's
besides
seen
him
E.T.
being sick, something else happens. So I remember my dad like taking me out of the movie theater because I just couldn't handle watching it. So I'm assuming I saw the ending at some point, but I
Yeah.
just know I actually didn't finish it. But it was so cool. It was
That
such
was
a cool
phenomenal.
movie. I loved it. I loved the actors in it. What was interesting is Drew was, I think, 6 years old.
Drew Barrymore.
And, yeah. And I think that's kind of when I fell in love with Drew Barrymore.
She was
but
adorable.
Totally.
So cute in that movie.
They actually wanted her to believe E.T. was real.
Oh.
So the thing about E.T. is he was a puppet.
Yeah.
And so they didn't tell her he was a puppet. So Steven had, we're on first name basis.
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg. He had 2 men keep tabs on E.T. So anytime Drew would walk over there, they would make him move and make him talk to her. And so that's how they kept up the idea
Wow.
of that E.T. was alive. And then when they filmed it chronologically. So she went through all the emotions with E.T. And when something happens at the end, which I won't say because I'm going to give it away, she really felt those emotions. She really, really was crying as if something was happening to her best friend.
Yeah.
Well, at 6 years old, that's got to be hard.
Yeah, very, very hard. So it was just, I think I loved reading those facts because it really made, I don't think directors do that nowadays. I think,
Yeah.
when you direct a movie, you're just, whatever scene works. And I don't know how children actors do it.
Right.
Like they did back then. But I just thought it was very interesting. And I also thought was interesting is E.T. was a puppet,
Yeah.
but there's a scene where he gets drunk and falls over.
Yeah.
There was really humans inside of him. Not 2, but at different times.
Right.
There was a male and then there was a child that played E.T. He didn't have any legs. So he looked like horrified right now. I'm sorry.
I did not know that.
No, he
And
didn't.
that's-
E.T. didn't have any legs.
No,
He
kid
had
that
legs.
was in it.
E.T. had like feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the person that was in it couldn't have any legs. So he didn't have any legs. Nor
Even the
did-
adult?
The adult didn't either. And he's amazing. I think he's since passed away, the adult.
Wow.
I think the child's still alive.
Yeah.
But because E.T. had to really like move and he had to fall over. So any of the
Yeah.
parts where he had to fall over in the videos, you had to have a live person. You couldn't have a puppet do that.
Wow.
So I just thought that was just fascinating that I never knew that I actually believed E.T. was real too, as a
you're
child.
younger,
Yeah, when
yeah.
I was younger. But I thought it was a puppet thing as I got older, but I thought it was interesting that it
Yeah.
wasn't.
E.T. is what made me start eating Reese's Pieces.
Well, and you know what's interesting about that?
remember that.
Is
You don't remember the Reese's Pieces?
No, I
Oh, you
remember
don't-
that. Totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
what is so interesting about that is Mars was approached M&M's to be the food that was given, the candy that was given into E.T.
Yeah.
And they said no.
Why?
They were afraid that the kids would be afraid of E.T. because they didn't really know
What it was.
what it was about. And so they said no to Steven, and he's like, well, I'm going to the next candy. And so he approached Hershey's, and that's how Reese's
Wow.
Pieces got into it. I mean, and they they're like
Dominated.
so famous now.
Hershey's
for
are the
that.
heroes, man.
Yeah, total heroes. So I thought that was interesting too, that
Yeah.
they weren't the first
Wow,
candy.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't either. Huh.
Those are good facts.
Yeah, I have like tons.
I love that movie too.
I mean, I just love
She
about it.
did
I'm a little
her
obsessed. I
research.
know I did.
She's going to start crying here soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I have another good part to this.
Okay.
In 2002, they came out with they released the 20th year anniversary in the movie theaters. And you
Did they
wanna-
change it?
No. They just remastered it. And you want to know the best memory of that? So my husband has known that's always been one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
So he knew that was happening. And I said, honey, I've got to see this. Do you want to come with me?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'll be there. And I'm like, well, I'm sure there's going to be a line of people just lining up to get into the movies. I mean, I don't even know if we'll make it into the first showing. He's like, don't worry, babe. I'll make sure we do. So he took the day off and he went down to the Irvine Spectrum movie theater over there.
Yeah.
And he stood in line all day long, from 8 in the morning till like a 6 o'clock showing.
That's
And
love.
you know what? I was the only one thinking that. No one was there. But
Wow.
he stayed in line until, the
I'll
time came.
tell you a trick I did, which everyone's gonna know this trick. When the Sex and the City movie came out in theaters, I wanted to see it so bad. So my girlfriend and I went to the theater, and the line was around the building.
That's amazing.
And I was like, there is no way. And this is a time when you just buy the ticket and you sit anywhere. Now you can choose your seats, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of good, kind of bad.
Yeah.
And she's like, how are we going to get it? We had martinis. We were like buzzed.
fun.
We're like, we're going to, and then we go, and the guy's like, the line's around there. And we're like, what the heck? We're not waiting in that. So I was like, what's playing right now? It's like a Lion King cartoon or something. We're buying those tickets. So we bought the tickets to the Lion King. And then we had tickets, but I forget. Like we had to wait in line still or something. And so we're in the building and now our movie starts and we walk over and the guy's like, you're not supposed to be in here. And we're like, we're watching that cartoon, man. We bought 2 tickets. Like, you're letting us in.
Did he know that you had a couple martinis in you?
Oh, he knew.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm letting you in, but I shouldn't let you in. But that was the only way to get in the theater was to, so everyone else was honest and did it the right way. But I was like, I'm getting in.
And for Sex in the City around
Yeah.
the block, I guess
That was very popular.
Well, because
Yeah.
it had been such a crazy show for HBO for so many years. And it was like a cult, everybody wanted to see it. I mean, my husband would be like, check the clock. I know where you're going. I'm like, you're going up there to see that dang show. And I had told him to go with me. And he was like, I'm not going in there to see that. Like, you need to find someone else. So I found my pal and she went with me. And we were like trying to finagle our way in. And we did get in to see it. And it was really good. So
That's what Chuck always does to me because she likes scary movies. And I don't like scary movies. I
Yeah.
don't like them at all. And Chuck's like, well, just tell Tracy. She'll go with you.
yeah.
Thank God for you. Thank God for you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about E.T. I do have to blab about another fact.
Okay.
So, there was a film designer that was inside of a store and heard somebody with this like smoky, raspy voice.
Yeah.
And he's like, she would be perfect for the voice of E.T. So the lady, it's a female, and the reason her voice is so raspy is she was like a housewife that smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Oh my
And he
gosh.
loved the sound of her voice, and he's like, that is going to be perfect. So he went back to Steven, and he said, I found E.T.'s voice. And that's how he found E.T. in a store, because he overheard her talking.
She wasn't even a voice actor or anything.
No, she was a
Well,
housewife.
Bart Simpson's voice was a woman.
Yes. Yes, I've seen her.
So-
She's little.
Yeah.
Little,
Yeah.
yeah.
She has a great voice.
interesting.
Yeah.
I know. That's amazing.
Huh.
It's just so funny. It's like, I love like reading up on the movies.
Yeah.
And finding
Yeah.
all the tidbits. And
Yeah.
If you read up on
interesting things.
Freeway, you'll see all the great reviews on it.
Yeah.
I do have to say there's great reviews. I must have
Yeah, 'cause
just
it's a
really
great
made
movie.
all that up.
It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
We just missed it. But we'll watch it. We'll watch it and
All
see
right.
and understand why you enjoy it.
All right.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, we're so excited that you joined us. We're so excited for the Emmys. Watch them. Vote for your favorites. TV's changed. Television's changed so much. There's so many great shows that are out there now. And we are ecstatic that we are
So
in
excited.
this magazine,
Yes.
which talks about how we got together, a little bit about all of us. Podcastars, pick it up. Where is it? It's on.
It's everywhere. We'll put a link down in our YouTube page of where you
Okay.
can buy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's super
Leave
cool
it in
because
your
we're
car.
just
'cause
starting
if you ever
out.
meet us on the road in
We'll sign it.
Orange County.
Yeah, like we're just
We'll
starting out to
autograph
get
it.
into this magazine. It's really,
we'll
really
sign
good.
it. We took the photo at at the photo booth in Laguna Beach on what is that street? That main street. It's not Broadway. It's Main. No, not
Forest.
It's on Forest,
yep.
yeah, and it looks like a little London photo box, but
It's so cute.
It's
It
so
is.
cute.
It was
Yeah,
such a great idea to take a photo in front
Yeah.
of it. I never even saw that.
Yeah,
And I've lived here
no.
my whole life, and I don't know how long it's been there, but it's
they
pretty
change
famous.
it. They change it every couple years and make it kind of a cool
A different
thing.
scene inside.
What does
So
the magazine have to do with the Emmys?
the
Make sure to mention what it has to do with the Emmys.
Oh, the swag bags and everything.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chuck.
No, good.
Okay.
So one thing that's really special that Renee is going to explain a little further why this episode was about the Emmys and how we're going there. Well, number one, we're in this magazine, but Renee, tell them why it's significant with the Emmys.
So during the week before the Emmys, they have what's called the Gifting Lounge, and it's where all the swag merchandises, and they call them the swag bags. This magazine and a few others are going to be put inside the bags, and that's where all the actors go and get their merch, and they're going to be looking at this. And I mean, I think our count on our YouTube is going to skyrocket with everyone
Yeah.
going to it and checking it out. But we're excited. I think it's going to be super cool. So for the full week, I started on Monday all through this week, and then it also is in all the hotels in LA.
Yeah.
So
that's
great.
super excited.
That's great.
kind of surreal.
And I
To
just
know
think it
that-
was like meant
yeah.
to be. It's like the first edition. This is really us kind
It's
of getting our
amazing.
podcast off. And
Yeah.
it was like meant to be.
Yeah.
I never believe in coincidences. You'll hear that a lot from me.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I believe this was all perfectly designed.
Yeah,
It is. It's great.
So that's how we're in the Emmys. This magazine that we are featured in is in all of the swag bags and the hotels where the Emmys will be broadcast and filmed. And it's kind of shocking to know that some of our favorite actors and actresses
know.
will open these magazines, and we're in there.
I think we need to get new dresses.
I think so too. So we're going to the Emmys, but we're not going. We're going in the bags and still there. And
Yeah,
you know, I
same
do
thing.
have to plug again She Rise Studios. I mean, what they're doing is
Amazing.
phenomenal. They're helping all these young entrepreneurs that are starting off, new businesses, new podcasts, new magazines. They help authors. They're great. I really love what they do.
Yeah.
I've just kind of come across them in the last few months, and very supportive of us and what
Yeah.
everyone else is doing out there. And
Well, we
they're
wouldn't
really
be
good humans.
We wouldn't be there without them. So
Yeah.
we're-
So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. Make sure that you follow us on every single platform. Not everyone. You know, it's funny because we go out sometimes and we meet up for lunch or, you know, afternoons and stuff, and we'll talk to people, and I'll always plug us, and I'll be like, hey, do you guys like podcasts? And some people love the visual ones, and some people are like, I listen to podcasts all the time. So the nice thing that we did was we filmed these, but you can still listen to the recordings through Spotify, through what is the other one? The
Apple.
I know, but the radio, iHeartRadio,
iHeartRadio. Yep.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is one where we want to hear from you on, and please engage with us on there when this gets posted. Tell us your favorite movie. Tell us your favorite television show, because that's what the Emmys are all about. So we'd love to hear what you loved and inspired you if it did, or just entertained you if it did. So thank you for joining us. We're so happy to keep continuing to come into your lives as you come into ours. And we'll see you next time.
Yay.
Bye.
No one else can see us.